I'm Mr. Knots, and welcome to the first YouTube Tangle tutorial that I'm gonna make. We're doing a lot of this. It's gonna be a whole grind. Please like and subscribe if you don't wanna miss these. I've been doing little Tangle Tuesday Tangle tutorials on Instagram for like 2 or 3 years now. Oh my God.
It's Tangle Tuesday on fire! Woo!
I'm here with the Poi Professor at Humble Juggling Festival. Happy Tangle Tuesday. Tangle Tuesday.
I just do the one. That's the idea.
Oh my God.
Find. I get questions all the time about where I can find like more cohesive tutorials and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to do my best to get a lot of these more complex ones written and fleshed out here on YouTube. If there's any specifically that you want to see, throw them in the comments. And I'm going to be done with all these intros right now because the attention span that we all have is of a goldfish now, and that's why I'm usually on social media. So let's get right into it. The first tangle I want to teach here is going to be a 2-beat versus pendulum tangled. Just like this. To Poi spinners who've been doing this a while, this might seem like a weird first choice for an intro to Tangles, but it's actually the first one that I learned. I think it helps with at least just showing a simple concept, which is adding and subtracting a tangle on either side with a +1 or +2 loop. Let me explain. So if you're doing a 2-beat versus a pendulum, the pendulum being your non-dominant hand just swaying back and forth, the 2-beat just being 2 full rotations, one on either side. What you're gonna do is add a beat on one side and extend the pendulum so that the poi loop like so. So on my right side, I add 1 extra beat and I'm tangled. And I stay in that tangle as long as I don't do any other beats on either side. Now, when I say a +1 loop, what I mean is you do a single beat +1 in order to loop the poi 1 time. Now, if I want to undo this tangle, I'm going to do another loop on the other side here, and I'm out. And then you're back in this pattern. And this concept is applicable to a ton of different tangles, going forward and out. In a 2-beat, for example. Even if you're in this plane, you can do a 1 and out, a 1 and out. Now your middle line in that plane is going to be a little different, but we'll talk about that in another video. The important thing to know here is you've got a 2-beat versus a pendulum, and if you want to add 1 tangle, you add a beat on one side and get in, and to undo it, you undo one on the other side. And if you're asking yourself,
can I add more loops?
Yeah, but it's gonna become weirder every time you add one and harder to control every time as well. So let's say I add another one. So we do 1 and we're in the pattern, and instead of getting out, I'm gonna add a second one. So you do that, and the tethers are gonna be so much tighter that your leading poi, the pink one, the one in my right hand, is going to wanna pull almost more into a 2-beat. Because the tension is going to be a lot harder. Stiffer, thicker. So just know that every time you add a loop, it's going to change how tight the feeling of the tether connection is, and it's something that you're really going to need to feel out and understand practically through practicing and just doing it. And just like with the +1 -1, if we've got a +1 there, and we add a +2, then you can do a -1 and a -2. Same concept. That's gonna be all for today. I know this might be a little confusing right off the bat for a lot of people because this has a lot to do with feeling it out and figuring out a very interesting niche part of the poi world. I'm gonna be covering a lot of this more on YouTube, so stay along for the ride if you're interested in tangles. I'm gonna break down a ton of different ways to explore tangles, a bunch of little tricks and tips that will help you understand that feeling of navigating tether manipulation in general. And hopefully we'll have a lot of fun around along the way and do a lot of shibari. No, just kidding. Those tutorials are for Patreon only. Also kidding, unless you ask for it. We'll see. Anyway, stay subscribed to the channel if you want to see more. I'm going to be covering a ton of this. So thanks, peace, and love Tangles. Tangle Tuesday. I don't care what day it is. Bye.